Warning, this episode of Ohio is on Fire contains strong opinions and viewpoints that belong to the host and guests that appear on Ohio is on Fire. This show contains entertainment and honesty that reaches extreme levels. Please do not try this at home. Yeah! This is the show. This is the show where Ohio throws down. Ohio is on fire for January 29th, 2014. I am your lovely host, Daniel Diesel. We are back live here in Fairborn, Ohio, here on WWSU 106.9 FM, Dane's Right Choice. I'm back once again for my second episode back for my return to this station. I got a nice little show for you tonight. First, I'll speak what's on my mind as usual, say some funny things, or at least I think they're funny. And also, I got an interview tonight with Dayton music artist Ben Rivet. Hope I said his last name right. Ben Rivet. He makes music, and he makes music videos. And actually, he made an interesting music video. He's going to have a premiere event of that music video coming this Friday at Hanson Audio. He uses 4K HD technology. It's the most powerful HD you can use, and it's hardly available anywhere right now, or it's very expensive to get a hold of. And I'm going to ask him about his use of that technology and where music is going when it comes to technology. But and also we'll talk about his music. So that's coming up later on this show. Of course, if you want to talk to me, give me a call at 937-775-5555. I am here. So let's get this on the road. But anyway, I hope you guys are warm at home, though. I really do, because this winter weather we're having is probably the coldest winter weather we've had, I think, since the late 1980s. I think up until today, I think for 4 straight days we were below 0 degrees. And I tell you what, it's been so cold. The polar bears, they have filed charges against Mother Nature for harassment. That is how cold it has been. I tell you what, it has been so cold outside. Chris Christie, he went outside and got an ice cream scoop and he helped himself. That's how cold it's been. And also, we had the State of Union address last night, but it's been so cold outside, the politicians, they stuck their nose in our freedoms and it got stuck. Yes, that's how cold it got. And of course, it's been so cold outside, Mother Nature screwed Jimmy Fallon out of the Tonight Show before Jay Leno was able to. Ooh, I wish I had a drum roll for that one. You got me, that was pretty good. Because I think it's going to happen eventually. I think Jay Leno will screw Jimmy Fallon out of the Tonight Show somehow. This has been a big news entertainment. This is supposed to be Jay Leno's last week as the Tonight Show host. And the thing is, didn't this happen 4 years ago? Wasn't he supposed to leave 4 years ago and give the show to Conan O'Brien? Of course, we know how that turned out. Apparently, Mr. Leno, he didn't want to give up his little show. He blamed it on politics, saying they wanted a fresher, young look. And then the whole fiasco took down, and they blamed Conan for bad ratings that happened on the 2 late night shows. Because Jay Leno, he kind of didn't go away after he left the Tonight Show. He did his little Jay Leno show. And I think there was something screwy about the whole ordeal. I think Jay Leno, he played some politics. I think he had some friends in the right places to help pull that off. I lost a lot of respect for him after that. And I just feel awkward about this goodbye week. Like, he did this 4 years ago. Now we're supposed to believe that he's leaving. And the thing is, he doesn't act like he wants to leave, actually. He's been on some talk shows recently. They've been asking him about him leaving to the Night Show. It doesn't sound like he wants to retire. He wants to do comedy work. He still wants to go on the road and do stuff. And he's made some puns implying that it wasn't his choice, once again, to leave, that they want to go with a younger, fresher sound. Oh, Jay Leno, he must be plotting right now about what he wants to do to get that Tonight Show back. I'm trying to think what he could do to Jimmy Fallon. Like, he could say that he's not nearly as funny as Adam Sandler, which is the guy he's trying to grip his career off of. He could do something like that. I like Jimmy Fallon. I hope he does a good job on Tonight Show. I just hope he doesn't get screwed over. and maybe Jay Leno will finally go away. He can retire in the sunset like he should have a long time ago. It'll be interesting because, you know, David Letterman, he's still got a show on CBS. I don't know how much longer he plans on doing that show. He's going on 20 years doing the show he's been doing on CBS. You know what I'd love to see? When David Letterman does finally leave, I hope Conan O'Brien replaces him. That way Conan O'Brien will get a second chance on primetime, late night talk show. And then he can show that he was a worthy talk show host. Because Conan O'Brien, he's my boy. He's one of my favorites. He's one of the best there is. And he shouldn't be on TBS. He should be on primetime. He should be on one of the big four networks and making lots more money. He needs to be back in New York City doing his thing. And I hope by 2015, him and Jimmy Fallon are going head-to-head every weeknight. I'd love to see that. So anyway, so I look forward to how it all folds down. I hope Jay Leno isn't such a slime ball again to take back tonight's show. I wouldn't hold it against him. But anyway, I don't know. Here on Ohio's on Fire, we have a new tradition. Every day is a holiday. Last week I talked about how that night it was Blonde Brownie Day, where it was the law to eat blonde brownies. You had to give it a hug. But I think this week is another holiday, and in fact I think the whole week is surrounded by this silly holiday. And that, my friends, is a Super Bowl. Yes, it is a silly holiday. It's an unofficial holiday. In fact, I'm to know that the most food purchased for a party on a given weekend every year, it is the Super Bowl. People buy billions of dollars worth of pizza and buffalo wings and hot dogs. Don't worry, that sounds nice. That tastes good. But it's silly. Because once again, I'm a guy that's all about equal opportunity. I think it's silly to make a holiday about a frivolous sport as football. I don't like football except for the Bengals. I think we give too much power to football. And the other thing is that by the time the Super Bowl runs around, we had so many bowl games. Like we got the College Bowl circuit. Then we got these specialty bowls. You know, you got the Arena Bowl in the springtime. In college, we got the Rose Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Yankee Stripe Bowl, bloody, bloody, bloody. I'm sick of it. There's too many bowls. And they do the same thing over again. What it means, like, if the winner of these bowls, they get a little bit more money towards their school than the other school. That's really all there is. It's just one big sponsorship. I got to thinking, well, if we spice things up a little bit. Well, we create some new type of bowls. Some type of football bowls where the stakes were higher, the concepts were more interesting, and perhaps draw some ratings. I think it's time we spice things up in the bowl world. I'm sick of the same thing over and over again. So I got to think, and I got some ideas for bowls that we can have and the stipulations that be attached to these bowls. But anything, I got several ideas. One of my ideas is the Colorado Reefer Bowl, because as of now in Colorado, it is legal to smoke marijuana, not only medically, but for a recreational purpose. And the winning team would win a lifetime supply of weed. They'd play in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and they'd be in the weed would be spring painted gold, and they can enjoy themselves, whoever wins. So you got the Colorado Reefer Bowl, and then you got the Free Agent Bowl. Because I know in pro sports, all these big stars have a free agent. So will we put these free agents, will we put their agents on the field, and they can negotiate. And every time they land a deal for their player, they score 3 points, and they score a touchdown for a major contract. Like contracts that they score, that would be how they score to win this football game. Yeah, it'd be the Free Agent Bowl. Just let these agents on their cell phones and their big limousines, in their suits, in their nice suit and tie, they just go out there and negotiate and kiss butt like they always do. That'd be a good bowl. I'd like to watch that. Also, I have an idea for the Staring Contest Bowl. And it's exactly how it sounds. The players, they would just stare at each other. And whoever blanks, you're eliminated. The last team standing, they win the contest. They win the bowl money. They win a lifetime supply of Mad Libs. $1 million worth of Mad Libs, and then they can stare. When they get to do the post interview on ESPN, they just stare. They won't even talk. They will just stare at you to show how good they are. So there's that, the staring contest bowl. Then we got the illegal immigrant bowl, where a team, they would score a touchdown, but then it would be immediately taken away from them and they'd be given a green flag. So that's the immigrant bowl right there. I could think that would have gotten a few laughs. Like I said, I do this by myself in a lonely studio. Oh, that one guy over there laughed. So there you go. That was funny. I am a funny guy. And now I got another idea for a bowl. We got the Viagra Bowl. There'll be no pine lines needed. And the trophies is the cheerleaders, if you get what I mean. And now the last bowl idea I have. Now, real quickly, I just want to point out I do support equality in marriages. I mean, no offense. I want everyone to get married, so I want to get it out of the way. But with that being said, we should have the Brokeback Mountain Bowl. Because most football players, they are hardcore straight males. They are very into their heterosexuality. I think they'd hate the idea of a Brokeback Mountain Bowl because the losing team, they would have to make out with each other for 10 minutes straight. And if they didn't, they would get their scholarships stripped from them. But you know what, Braxton Miller? I hope Ohio State Buckeyes win this bowl and they lose, because Braxton Miller, he can make love to himself. So how about that? Round of applause. Love yourself, Mr. Braxton Miller. Okay. I told you I was back. I warned you all. I am back. It is now time for everyone's favorite segment. It might be cold outside, but this segment will keep you nice, warm, and toasty. It is OMVP, Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Ooh, ah. I actually have no music tonight. This, I guess, a little bit more serious, if you will. You know, real life takes over sometimes. As you know, I am a resident of Xenia, Ohio. And I've mentioned before, this winter has been one of the roughest winters on record in the state of Ohio, probably since the 80s, maybe even the 70s. It's probably the roughest it's been since I've been alive. You know, I'm in my mid-20s, so I've seen quite a bit of rough winters in Ohio. It's pretty bad. And there's been a few house fires, I know, in the Xenia, Ohio area, and even around Beaver Creek. And of course, a lot of people get sick due to bad weather, and it really messes with people sometimes. A group of people that have a really important job in Xenia, Ohio, that deals with the hardship that we go through all the time, is the Xenia Fire Department. I think people that work in the fire department, they have a hard job anyway. It's one of the bravest jobs you can do. Of course, I should mention one of my favorite shows, of course it's no longer on, but it was Rescue Me. I really enjoy that show. And of course I enjoy Chicago Fire. That's on NBC right now. Good shows, and it's a lot of it's rooted into true stories of the struggles that it is to be a fireman and the way they put their lives on the line. And of course, everyone knows about the heroics that the New York police officers in the fire department on 9/11. Ever since that day on 9/11, I think being a fireman has been considered cool. And a lot of my peers, when I used to go to school, like in high school, and even now, and even some of my family members are firefighters now. They love the action there is to being a firefighter. And the thing is, I hope their wages become better, because in the last few years, which I think had to do with poor decision making on a past regime here in this country, their benefits have been sliced in half. I do think they don't get enough credit. But also, I want to give some credit tonight to the Xenia Fire Division. What they do for my hometown is really good. And of course, there's a big staff. Of course, the fire chief of that group is Mr. Kenneth Rigsby. He is the fire chief. And then there's other staff. You got Jim Mulligan, Brian Brenneman, he's the captain, and another captain, Douglas Cope, Jason Kinley. So that's the group that's listed. Of course, there's other lower level staff. Well, I don't want to say lower level. They're the ones that do the dirty work. They go out there and put out fires. They help gas leaks. Of course, I've had a few sick relatives within the past year, and they have helped my relatives when they needed it with many issues. And they're really helpful. They didn't do what they do. I think we'd be way worse off in Xenia than we already are. Because we struggle in general in Xenia. I mean, we got no bowling alley. We got no movie theater. The only thing we have is in springtime we got a nice bicycle course, which doesn't do us any good when the weather is 10 below freezing. And of course, I think all we care about is high school football, which I wouldn't mind it, except all we do is give them money. We don't give anyone else or any organizations any money. I do believe it's kind of narrow-minded over there right now. And that's coming from someone that's lived in Xenia, Ohio most of his life. So let's rise up. I want to speak on some equality issues that take place in my hometown in the future. But I want to try to keep it as happy as I can, because the Xenia, Ohio Fire Division, thank you for what you do all year long and in the wintertime. And thank you. This is a fake award, so I have nothing to give you. I guess round of applause. Yay. Because you are this episode's OMVP, Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Yeah, the audience cheers. It's great. No, I'm happy. That's great. It's great what they do. I'm going to make a few announcements of what's coming up for Ohio's on Fire, because I might be in the show early tonight. I got to get home sooner for personal reasons. I do need to be home early tonight, so I'm going to get what I get out there. Of course, I got my interview with Ben Rivet. My 100th episode of Ohio's on Fire is coming up in 2 weeks. I'm excited, and I got 2 guests. First, I'll have a phone-in interview with comedian David Dyer. He's going to be doing a show at Wally's Comedy Club. He will be calling in 2 weeks. And also I'll have live interview here in the studios with The Story Changes, really good band, and people I've gotten to know over the years. They'll be back for their second appearance ever on Ohio's on Fire. We'll talk Valentine's Day, we'll talk about the music scene, and we'll talk about their work on the internet. So at least one of them will be here. The other one may not make it, because I know last time Poppy was the only one that was able to come. Maybe I'll get both of them to come. They got a lot of cool things they've been up to. They will be live in the studio. And I'm not sure if I'll do this yet, but I'll be having a contest soon that involves me giving away prizes to the audience. But I'll make that announcement because I don't know what prizes will be part of this giveaway. But I want you to follow me on Twitter, www.twitter.com/OhioIsOnFire and www.facebook.com/OhioIsOnFire. And I'll make announcements there. So be my friend if you like me enough. So that's coming up. I'm excited. 100 episodes. I can't believe I've done it. For all my formats, I've made it to 100. So that's a milestone of sorts. I will make that very special. I have some other announcements I'll make according to that. But you got to follow me on my website, because I'm experimenting with some stuff, and I don't want to do some if I'm not able to do it. But anywho, and then I'll announce something else. I'll go ahead and mention now. It's a very rough time of year to be homeless. As I've mentioned, this is record for cold weather. Blood. That was easy for me to say. I mean, I'm happy if you're home, you're all warmed up and nice, because you need to be. Some people are unfortunate enough to be homeless this time of year. Some of them had some unfortunate circumstance that allowed them to be homeless. And some kind of deserve it. I know there's some jerks out there, they drink and smoke, and they do bad things to people, and they kind of have it coming, I guess. But I want to make some announcement to some homeless shelters. If you see a kid, like, I feel bad for children and mothers that have to be homeless in this weather. If you can help someone, if you see them that they're homeless, at the very least, maybe give them some money. Or maybe you can buy them a hot sandwich if it's during the day. Maybe you can buy some hot McDonald's or Subway. Make them fed. Or if you want to report them to make sure they get homes, there's a few places in the Dayton market. There's a St. Vincent de Paul Hotel Getaway Shelter. That's in Dayton, Ohio. Then there's also the Mustard Seed Foundation Housing. That's on Dillinger Road. And then you got the Home House Mission. That's on South Main Street, Dayton, Ohio. Then you got the Samaritan Homeless Clinic. That's over close to the UD Arena. That's on South Edward C. Moses Boulevard, Dayton, Ohio. And of course, you can look up homeless shelters on Dayton. If you're fortunate enough to live in a house and have a computer, you can look up all the homeless shelters that's in Dayton, Ohio, or in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Of course, also there are some churches that have volunteer missions that do help homeless people. For those that are more religious and they like to be close to a religious movement, you can do that. I would just call around and find out some churches that do homeless shelters. Not all of them do, but some of them do. So please be safe this holiday season and then this winter season. That's very important because people have died. I think we've had 4 deaths this winter alone for people that were homeless, and they froze to death pretty much, and it's sad. So please do help someone that deserves it this holiday season, this winter season. And we are back with Ohio is on Fire, and tonight's guest, he is finally here in the studio. I'm speaking to Ben Rivet. He's a Dayton music artist. But say hello.
How's it going?
All right, man. Now, welcome to the studios. I've discovered you have an event coming up that Hanson Audio is on Active Dayton. Well, of course, I'll talk to you more about that in a little bit. But I want to get to know you a little bit more because you're a music artist. Now, I noticed in your videos you play a lot of instruments. You play your guitar, piano. Now, have you been a classically trained musician your whole life? How did that come about?
I did choirs and played guitar in high school, and then I ended up going to University of Dayton to study music. So I do have my degree in music, but I have a general BA, so I wasn't a performance major, education major, or anything like that. But I did study vocal training, and I was in a lot of choirs and ensembles when I was at school, but I did mostly music production, so a lot of the instrumentation and vocal knowledge that I have came through school and then post-school, but that's what I studied, was music production.
Awesome. Now, you released music under the moniker BJSR. Now, is that a group, or do you have other people helping you, or are you by yourself?
It's a solo project. It's my initials, Benjamin Joseph Stefan Rivet.
Oh,
so
it all makes sense now.
Yeah, solo project. I collaborate with a lot of different artists, and kind of ebbs and flows as the music comes along, but I do all of the writing, and I'm the main singer and performer. So whenever other artists or performers or producers are needed, then it grows, and when not, then it shrinks.
Now, I know sometimes you do work with Kenny Mosher. I know he worked on the music video that you guys are going to be premiering. It'll be a big event you'll be doing in 2 days.
Yeah.
Now, how did you meet Kenny Mosher, and how's that relationship like when it comes to the music business?
Sure. First of all, it's Kenny Mosher.
I said it wrong. Kenny Mosher.
And, my last name is Rivet, like you would, have rivets on a G.
Rivet. Well, I tried.
But if we want to go with Ben Rivet and Kenny Mosher,
no, I want to call you Rivet.
Yeah,
man,
no, that's good. That's fine. Anyway, Kenny and I go back to University of Dayton. He was a UD grad as well, and we actually. He was, I think, general studies major, actually, and I was a BA, but we both had a general interest in audio technology or media production. So we worked together through a class that we took that was specifically music for video, and the collaboration between the two. So he and I worked together on a project for that class. I think it was our senior year, and that was the first video project we ever worked on, and worked a couple projects throughout senior year of college and then out of school. And right after graduation, I went and continued to do my music career, when performed on a cruise ship, and he started working solely in video production and digital storytelling. And so we've been able to work a couple times together over the last 5 years since we got out of school on various projects, a couple music videos and projects for his work. So.
Awesome, man. Now, I noticed on your YouTube channel, you've done a series of videos called Go With The Flow.
Yeah.
It's a combination of music and yoga.
Yeah.
Now, was there a high demand in the Dayton, Ohio area for like soft rock music and yoga? How'd that come about?
I would say that we didn't really realize that there was a need. We didn't attack the problem like there was a need for it, but I was working with Tori Reynolds, who's a yoga instructor in the area, and I asked if I could play a couple of her classes, and people seemed to really enjoy it. I use a looping station for that project, so the concept behind it is that I build a very long live instrumental track for her yoga class, and because I'm able to make it live and be very light on my feet as far as the creation of music,
wow,
it seems to kind of have taken off. We found a really niche market, so I would say that we found that there's a demand there now, and we've been traveling quite regularly for that. So that's actually kind of taken the forefront of my production mind. BJSR stuff has kind of been in the background until this Friday.
Now, along with the videos, for the Go with the Flow, like there's probably a lot of yoga classes in the Dayton, Ohio area, and Ohio in general. Do you actually do them live? Like, do have a lot of other yoga instructors invite you to do music live while the people actually do the yoga?
Not really. Well, not a bunch of different yoga teachers. I work with one teacher specifically,
Okay.
Tori, and we created this Go with the Flow project together. So she and I tour exclusively around the country for this project. We've done almost 200 classes in the last 2 years.
Great.
So yeah.
Now, Tori, is that the one in the video?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, now I know that I can match the face with the name now.
You're putting it all together. Connecting
Yes. Well, tell her she's very nice looking.
I will.
Unless she's married, then don't say anything at all.
She's not married. I'll let her know.
All right. Now, what do you do? You right now live in the Dayton, Ohio market.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the music scene? Like, do you think it's... Well, just share your honest thoughts. Is it good or bad?
It's not huge, but I think it has a lot of character. I didn't live in Dayton until I was in college, and then I was kind of in the UD bubble. So, which kind of detaches itself from the UD music scene directly. So it wasn't until after I got out of school and started working on the BJSR project that I really started to get to know the scene as it is. And so it's only been a couple of years, but I was able to immediately kind of nestle in and make really good relationships with studios and venues and other producers and bar owners and radio hosts and things like that. So to me, what I like about it is it's extremely accessible, and because of Dayton's location, I love being an independent artist that lives in Dayton because it's so close to everything. I mean, we're really close to Chicago and Nashville and St. Louis and Indianapolis and Detroit and Pittsburgh, and I could just keep going and going.
Wow.
And that's kind of different than almost any other city in the entire country, having traveled it, that we're very, very close to a lot of major markets, which for any artist or young entrepreneur, that's a huge, huge resource. So I like it because it's connected to a much larger market, which is the Midwest.
Oh, absolutely. But that's a good answer. Well, yeah, I think a lot of younger artists cut their teeth through Dayton. Yeah. It might be easier to get gigs because I think New York City, like, you have to be either really good or perhaps know someone, and it's just a really huge market.
Totally.
Like, you can get lost real easy in a big city like New York City.
Yeah.
So maybe Dayton, Ohio, I guess it's the simplicity.
What's great is that you don't need to be... because it's not very expensive to live. I mean, it's a fraction of what Chicago is, and even more of a fraction of what San Francisco or LA or New York are. And if what you're trying to do when you're first getting started is play a lot and get a lot of stage time and make a lot of contacts, then it might make sense to do that as economically as possible until you kind of hone your craft and figure out what specifically you want to do, what you enjoy about music or production or performance or design or photography, whatever it is. For me, it took a couple of years outside of school after I'd built up all this knowledge base to try to put it in action and see what was the most enjoyable thing about it. And Dayton, for me, was and still is a great place to do that because it doesn't feel like you're I mean, it would be one thing if we were living in Minneapolis or something, which I'm not bashing Minneapolis, but it's pretty far away from a lot of other places. And it's not super big. So what's great about Dayton is you don't have to go very far to feel tapped into another whole group of people and a whole scene and a whole new set of bars and whatnot. So I've always liked living and playing here.
Awesome. Well, I continue good luck here in the Dayton market. And I got good news for you. I didn't really tell you about this beforehand, but I'm going to play 2 of your songs that you have on the internet. I'll play that now. I'm going to play The Lover, and I'm going to play the acoustic version of Sleep, which you did with Lauren Elise.
Yeah.
So I'll play those 2. You guys are using innovative 4K HD technology. Now, what is 4K HD?
4K is 4 times the resolution of 1080. So if you think about a basic 1080 TV, 1080 is really about the amount of pixels within the frame. So 4K or 5K is what you would typically see the resolution of IMAX. Okay. So the camera that Kenny Mosier of Showdown Visual, who shot the video with, shot it with a an Epic by a company called Red, and so the Red Epic shoots in 4K, so it's basically like an IMAX camera.
Oh.
And we shot the music video for that with that camera, and we're going to be premiering it at Hanson Audio on one of their super large 4K projectors. So
awesome.
Very, very cool.
Now, what for a visual standpoint, what is the difference between the 1080 HD that most people can use now and the 4K that you got?
Currently, I'm not shooting 3D film or 3D 4K, so maybe that's a little bit over my head, but I'm sure it's happening someplace.
Yeah, maybe one day. Now, you got the Hanson Audio location. Now, do they do events for other people all the time? Like, well, I guess what I want to know is how'd you land a deal to show your event at Hanson?
Well, I was really excited when the video was getting done, being produced. I was really excited about the capability of what we had shot with, Kenny's camera on a relatively small independent budget, and me just being the excited artist that I was, really wanted to see that on the full grand scale that it could go, and I figured why not wait, why not try to do it right before I show it to absolutely everybody and narrow it down to this one event. And so I had been looking to potentially do it at an actual IMAX theater, and this opportunity kind of arose, and I stopped over there and chatted with them a little bit, and they had heard of Kenny's work, and they had heard of some of my work around the city, so it seemed like a no-brainer. I actually lived right down the street from Hanson for a couple of years, and just would drive past it every day on the way.
To get a brief update, which you probably won't see on the BJSR YouTube video, because I ran out, my camera kind of run low towards the end of the interview, but he's going to have some tour dates. The Go with the Flow concept, he'll be going on tour with that this coming spring and throughout the summer. And in the Dayton, Ohio area, he'll be doing an event. Him and Tori, they'll be doing an event over at the at Riverscape in Dayton, Ohio, as part of National Bike Week, so that'll be interesting. And also the 4K technology, it's very expensive right now, so maybe one day it'll become available. That me and him joked about that. Of course, I think a lot of people would want that if it was affordable, because everyone wants a cool item. So hopefully it'll become available one day. And for those of you that watched the music video this coming Friday, I hope you enjoy. It's nice, you consider yourself lucky you got to watch it, because a lot of people would want to watch that, and of course you ain't able to, so maybe one day 4K will be more available to all. So those were the highlights of our interview. So be safe out there in this warm weather. Alright. Warning, this episode of Ohio is on Fire contains strong opinions and viewpoints that belong to the host and guests that appear on Ohio is on Fire. This show contains entertainment and honesty that reaches extreme levels. Please do not try this at home.
Tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
My name is Elizabeth Holford, and I'm the Executive Director at Equality Ohio.
I have a First Amendment.
Equality Ohio.
These officers want me to leave this position just because you got cameras.
Equality Ohio.
Can you believe it?
Witnesses say during a heated confrontation, a healthcare reform opponent had his pinky finger bitten off when he stuck it in a healthcare reform supporter's face. Police say the 65-year-old man picked up his finger and drove himself to Los Robles Hospital, where they're now trying to reattach it. Police tonight are searching for the biter who ran from the scene.
Enough! Silence! I can't take no more. Fire! 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 Fire!
Let's just talk. Listen, I'm sorry. You're highly professional at what you do. You get here for me.